Coming up today on Studio 13 Live, we are sitting down with radio host and pop culture queen, Beza Gordon. She shares all about her new show on Fox 13 Plus, how she's highlighting local artists as a board member on the Pacific Northwest chapter of the Recording Academy.
Then we're chatting with the founders of La Union Studio, how they blend culture into their architectural designs to highlight the diversity of our communities.
And Che Bog's Filipino Food is cooking up their signature pork and tofu dishes. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today.
Oh, hi.
Oh.
Oh, there you are. How are you doing? I'm Mireya Garcia.
Look at, and I'm Bender.
You are Bender.
How are you guys? Welcome back to Studio 13 Live.
We are so glad to have you back here. Had a blast yesterday. Of course, Carly in LA doing a little work for us. We're excited to see that. But Bender not only came back, but he came back with the coolest shirt I've ever seen.
No one's ever pointed that out because nobody's ever that close.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. Well, first of all, with my contacts, I have superhuman sight. Thank you, science.
Right.
But it's like blue and pink, so you're like, oh, okay. And then you look a little closer, and they're tiny skulls.
Skulls. Do I need to move up forward? Can you see it?
Oh, my gosh.
Or are you going to zoom in over here? Which camera do you want me?
You're freaking out production, man.
Yeah, forget it. I'll just sit back down.
There's fingers pointing at him. Sit yourself down.
It's skulls.
It's cool.
It's fine.
It says I'm a baddie.
That's what it's. That's what it says. That's right. That's what it says.
So yesterday, you and I were chatting about how you and your wife just started Ted Lasso.
We're ready to wrap up season number 2.
Okay. So it's a dangerous time right now, my friend.
Yeah, I know. I'm having to stay off all social. Every time I even see Ted Lasso's name, anytime I see any reference to it, I'm having to duck because I can't have it ruined for me.
I know.
But
it's coming. The end is coming.
The finale just aired.
It's today, so like as soon as, I don't know when Apple releases, but it is today. It is available because I get a little texty text.
Yeah.
So I'm also avoiding social media. It's wrapping up its 3rd season now.
Yeah, and by most accounts, this was also the series finale. But if you ask the studio showrunners, it's still not clear whether or not this was really the end. The studio had said that the episode will, quote, feel very satisfying, but they're also saying they left the door open for more episodes. Jason Sudeikis, of course, is the star. He says that this is the story they wanted to tell, but he also didn't rule out a Lasso return, even a spin-off featuring other characters. Look, we're going to have this conversation. I'm seeing us roll video. This is,
I know. Don't look too closely.
So bad.
Yeah. Don't look too closely.
It's been so good.
Yeah.
We're ready again to wrap up season number 2. And every night, as soon as our daughter goes down, we're watching at least 1 or 2 episodes. Over the long holiday weekend, we burn through a bunch of them. But it's so good. And I don't know what to do. I mean, we're going to have to, over the next couple of days, just watch everything and get it out of the way.
Yeah, the tough part for me is that I think that I would be very sad to see some sort of spin-off without Sudeikis because he is just so excellent. But the show has done such excellent work at really elevating other characters. So you kind of fall in love with these side characters and you see like, okay, I could keep following their story. So I'm very excited to watch the finale tonight because I'm all caught up.
Sure.
I won't tell though.
I'm very jealous.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be good. It keeps getting better. So just enjoy what you have while you have it.
I mean, it can be ruined though, right?
I know, it can, but it's all right.
Like,
it's gonna be okay.
do I need to completely avoid everything? Because, are there twists and turns coming that it's going to completely, ruin it for us?
I mean, you need to wrap up season 2 because there's something there that could. But I think that season 3 has really been about redemption, which I love that kind of storyline. You know what I mean?
Okay.
For like different characters.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm loving it. All right.
It was very well to spin that without ruining it. That was very good.
I hope. Maybe you'll think I ruined it. We'll see. You'll have to tell me later.
Okay.
So the Roys, speaking of good TV, concluded their saga to record numbers on Sunday night. Nearly 3 million viewers tuned in for the Succession series finale. 68% more than the season 3 finale. Overall series high performance for this hit HBO show. And for this one in particular, it's like the tale of two shows. Ted Lasso is people really loving seeing people be good.
Right.
And this one with the Roys, it's like people love seeing people be bad.
Yeah, I watched like the first 2 episodes, and I may have just been in that place where I wasn't in the mood for it.
Right.
And I never went back.
Oh, okay.
So this, I may be shocking some people that I wasn't, I'm not gonna say I wasn't a fan, I just didn't jump on the bandwagon.
Right.
And how many seasons?
3.
Yeah, no, no.
It might have passed you by. There's a lot of good TV out there, so it's okay.
And these are 1-hour episodes, right?
Yeah, they're like
See,
dramas.
Ted Lasso is just a quick 30, 35 minutes, boom, you're done. Like we blow through that season. And this is, you know, it's the tension and the...
Heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. Maybe that's what it is. It's too heavy.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to switch gears from TV to music. Guns N' Roses. Ooh. We announced it this morning on 95.7 The Jet. Guns N' Roses come in a climate pledge. The announcement was made this morning. They're going to be here October 14th. A massive tour. Right now, it stops in Tel Aviv, Athens, London, Madrid. Sure, put Seattle on the list. Tickets go on sale June 9th, which will be a week from this coming Friday. And I'm not sure if you saw some of the opening acts, but one of the ones that jumped out was Carrie Underwood.
Oh, really?
Carrie Underwood will be doing some, I guess, it's kind of a smattering of where
Okay.
She's not touring with them, but some of the shows she'll show up. If you know the backstory, Carrie Underwood has a relationship with the band. Like Axl Rose has crashed her concerts
I love
a couple of different times, and you may have seen videos online and so on. But she is a massive fan, and apparently she's been doing Guns N' Roses covers during her shows, and I guess it all worked together. So this is pretty cool.
I cannot wait. There's just so much good music that comes through here, and it's a very exciting time.
Yeah.
I do think we should include Seattle, Tel Aviv, all the big...
Sure.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? Singer and songwriter Sia just revealing a diagnosis, okay? She says she's on the autism spectrum. On the podcast, Rob Has a Show, she shared that she is, quote, on the spectrum and in recovery. 2 years ago, Sia actually receiving a lot of backlash on a project that some say was a poor depiction of what it was like to experience life on the spectrum. You know, it was a movie that she worked on, and the lead actress wasn't on the spectrum, so there was a lot of criticism there. She apologized for the depiction and said that last year, that negative response actually triggering a mental health relapse, a crisis for her, that she even felt suicidal. She added that in the last 2 years, she's become fully herself. And, you know, I think it's really just so incredibly interesting how when you're kind of a creative, even good intentions can have just disastrous results. And we saw that with her, you know, even though she wanted to put something good out there, people did not receive it well.
Especially when you do a deep dive on something like that with mental health and so on, and autism on the spectrum, and you sit there and go, well, wait a second. You realize that when you do a project like that, whatever your intentions are, you're going to upset someone. Even if it's something lighthearted, you're gonna upset somebody. And then when you go down that path that she did, even with the apologies and so on, it's like you give her credit for acknowledging it and apologizing for it. And then it's horrible news to find out that because of the backlash that she recessed herself. And that's horrible.
Right.
But you don't, it's like if you were advising her, what would you have done differently? Like, how would she have been able to fix that to not either A, offend, or B, to, I guess, better handle herself in a situation where the backlash was coming, and how on earth would you shield yourself from that?
I don't think you can shield yourself from that. I think it is a standard danger of the industry. And what she did was the right thing. She apologized. She pulled back, and the problem with this like major media stuff is that even if she really felt she wasn't in the wrong, you almost like, as a matter of course, have to apologize and step back. And then if you want to explain yourself, you need to do that once things die down, and that's what she did. So I think the move was the right move, even though it was so hard on her.
So we're going to move from entertainment. How about this? We're all familiar with red flag. Sure, the warning signals that they give. Apparently, we're now in a new era of, wait for it, beige flags. The term all over social media is describing as a quirky, odd personality trait, but not big enough to end a relationship. One person, it's described as a beige flag. Quote, something that makes you think for a few seconds and go, all right, it's a little weird. And then you move on. Another user said his girlfriend's beige flag is not knowing the difference between left and right. I'm sorry, that's a bit more of a beige flag.
That's just hilarious.
I mean, is she sitting at a light?
Some
and
people
she
do
does
that.
this?
Yes,
I mean,
oh,
that's
boy.
come on.
Okay, so
That's more of a, but then I guess it's a category because is a beige flag nothing that big of a deal that you could live with?
Yeah.
And a red flag is more of a, you got to dial it back. Maybe this isn't going to work out in the long run.
I think so.
But a left and right thing, maybe that's the bad example to use for a beige flag because that would drive me freaking insane.
Okay, so it might be a red flag for you, but for this person, it was a beige flag. Are you on TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay, so on TikTok, I saw this trend, and my husband's not big into TikTok, but I sent this one to him because the beige flag that TikTok gave to me is the one that's his. He loves to watch a show with me that I'm watching. That is my show. Okay, I watch it in my own time. And then he's like, oh, this is so good. We should watch this together. I want to talk about it with you. But we're both busy people, so then I can no longer watch my show.
Because you can't show cheat.
No, because it's our show suddenly.
Okay,
so,
I totally thought you
that's
were
a beige flag.
All right, I thought you were going to go down the beige flag / red flag that Rachel has when I'll go watch one of her shows with her and I comment negatively while she's watching the show. Like, this is, I wasn't a fan of the whole scandal thing for...
Scandival.
that Scandival.
Yeah.
And every time I'd walk through the room and I'd stop and watch for a little while, I was finally escorted out of the room because it's like, stop it, you're ruining this for me, stop it. And I'm like, none of this is real. They're all mic'd. Come on, how can... So I thought that's where you were going with it.
Well, I mean, it's pretty similar. TV related, I'm on her side on this one. My man, okay?
All right, let's shift. How about talk about an unexpected end to a baseball game in upstate New York? A team started celebrating after what they thought the batter for the opposing team struck out, but the pitch appeared to graze the dirt, which meant the catcher had to tag the batter or throw the ball to first complete the out. The team celebrating didn't realize what was happening, but the batter and the runner for the opposing team did. They continued running the bases. The opposing team ended up winning the championship 6-5 as a result, leaving the other team absolutely stunned.
Wow, what a mess.
Oh, and the arguments and look at everybody's still trying to, I mean, look.
Lessons learned, I think.
The lesson learned is?
Don't celebrate before you know, for sure.
And how do you, and we talked about this yesterday where the kids are supposedly worse off in large groups than adults. We're going to see the adults behind the scenes of that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's got to be heartbreaking.
I know. They're never going to be able to really get over it. That's a story that's going to be told when those kids are like adults, 40s, have their own families. Like, you're never going to forget that. That is wild.
You're going to have, you have to go back. You have to watch it because us just doing it in this 2-minute segment right here, you don't get the full gist of it. But the play, the celebration, everything was happening, and then it was just ripped from them because nobody was paying attention to the last seconds of the game.
Well, it was a good game. At least you have that. Hey, still ahead, from Godfather to new father, Al Pacino dropping a baby bombshell.
Yeah, we're going to check in with TMZ to get the scoop on all of it next.
It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna...
It is time to take a look at what is popping in the world of celebrity news.
And for that, we're bringing in Fabian Garcia from TMZ. Hey, Al Pacino about to become a father again. Which
That's right. That's
know,
right. At the ripe age of 83, no less. So yes, he is having his 4th kid with his 29-year-old girlfriend, Noor Al-Fala. And the latest news we have on this, besides the fact that she's having the baby, by the way, she's 8 months pregnant, about to have the baby in about a month or so, is that it was not planned. We're hearing from sources that are close to Al and Noor that the baby was not planned. It was just a happy accident. And the reason that's notable is because there have been several other high-profile men in Hollywood, senior citizen men in Hollywood, who have had kids later in life on purpose, including his counterpart, Robert De Niro, who has just recently announced he's also having his own kid, his 7th kid, at 79. That was planned, apparently. That's what Robert De Niro and his girlfriend have said publicly. But as it turns out for Al, not planned. So yeah, he's welcoming another baby at the age of 83. By the time the kid is 18, Al will be like 100 if he's still around by then. God willing, he is. Just think about that. So
let's not do the math.
If he's still around.
I mean, it is the truth.
There's a lot of discourse, But go on, what were we going to say?
I love the Al Pacino picture that we're using. Really? That picture was like 15, 20 years old.
He looks very refreshed. We're doing him a favor, okay?
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
Fabian.
But anyway, congratulations to Al and Noor, obviously.
Absolutely, that is true. Hey, Jeff Bezos and his new fiance revealing how much they're paying for a rental. Tell us about this.
Oh my God, it is the highest rent I have ever heard of, ever. But for a multi-billionaire, it's kind of chump change. So they are living at Kenny G's house in Malibu. It's a massive compound, beautiful home. They have the whole place to themselves, and they are spending what we're told is upwards of $600,000 a month in rent for this place, and that's unfurnished. They spent more money on their own furnishings. They got Kenny's stuff out of there, put their own stuff in. So who knows how much money they've spent on that? But just on the rent alone, we're hearing they're paying $600K. They've been living there since March, and the reason they're living there is because their own house that they're working on is in Beverly Hills. It looks like it's being built from the ground up. If you look at the photos on our website, you'll see that it's still very much so under construction. It's unclear how much longer they'll be living at Kenny G's house, but since March, presumably they've spent upwards of like $1.8 million, which sounds like a lot to the normal people of society. But again, for Jeff Bezos, it's literally just pocket. It's pennies. He's got tons of that going around. So.
House?
Yeah, I think they're renting it from good old Kenny.
They're renting it from Kenny G. And Kenny G, he's probably got another property somewhere else, and he's happy to collect that rent, I'm sure. So yeah,
sure
good for
that I thought he was going to say $600,000 a day.
No, well, I'm sure he could do it too,
Jeff could afford that as well. That's right.
Wow.
Fabian, thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Of course. Thanks for having me, you guys. Appreciate it.
I know, that is wild. He always brings the good stories. Hey, don't forget, you can catch TMZ right here on Fox 13 weekdays at 7 p.m. All right, coming up, we are sitting down with one of the most recognizable voices of the Seattle airwaves, Besa Gordon.
Yeah, we're going to be chatting about her upcoming show and how she brings members of local media together for mixers. Coming up.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here.
Can I get a song like that when I walk around? That is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Well, the only time you can walk around, though, is if you're going to do it slow-mo.
You made that beat. Oh, okay. Ooh, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, you know that voice. That is Besa Gordon, blogger, radio host. Hits with a hits 106.1. I'm just so flustered because she is so cool. She's the host of a pop culture show on Coverage Media called Rewind with Besa. And welcome.
Thank you.
Look at you, making the jump, making the transition.
I know, that's right.
Yes, and on top of the list of all of your accomplishments, you're also going to be seeing her host a show on Fox 13 Plus.
Yes, well, actually, it's going to be on both. So it'll be on Fox 13 on Saturdays at 10:30 p.m. It'll be on Plus on Sundays at 10 a.m. And it's called Back to Besa.
Oh, I love it.
See, you bring in media people to do other media. See, we've conquered one medium.
Yep.
And now we're on to do the next.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you guys are doing it well.
It's called expanding the brand.
Ah.
This isn't about. This is Besa. This is. By the way, which camera are we looking in? Which five? Besa, say hi to the people.
Hi guys,
There you
Besa
go.
Gordon here.
See what it says right there? It says, Besa, you're extremely talented. We both work at iHeart. Tell us about your journey to getting here.
No, I can't see that. I don't have my spectacles, but I believe everything you just said.
So, look, let's be honest. You're making the jump from radio to TV, but you're doing both.
I'm doing both.
You're continuing to handle nights on 106.1.
Yes.
And now you're also doing this thing on Fox 13 Plus.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and explain to everybody exactly what it is you're doing.
So I'm dropping a new show. It'll be called Back to Besa, where the Northwest connects. And my whole point of the show is to really focus on the different great things that are happening in the city, the amazing people that are here, you know, do more of what I've already been doing with Converge, which is putting a spotlight on voices of people that look like mine that might sometimes be ignored, might not always be understood, but we definitely make sure you understand it a little bit better once you finish watching one of our short form or long form pieces of content. I'll still be doing my interviews. I'll have like a backstage pass where I can go behind the scenes at like the ballet or wrestling events or concerts.
Wow.
I'll have Youth Unfiltered. Well, we'll have the youth come in and speak their mind, you know what I mean? Like, for example, they're supposed to be removing some voting ballots from some of the college campuses. I would like to know how they feel about that. I feel that's very inconvenient, you know? So we're gonna have so many more things going on to where it's really an expansion of what I've been doing over the last few months, but in an hour-long show.
That is beautiful. Talk to me a little bit more about the importance for you to also create a platform for others.
I think it's important because it's one thing to have a platform, but for it to be my own platform, I can genuinely do what I want and I can do authentic highlights. Like, I don't have to worry about doing, you know, just the liners that I have to do because it's a part of my job. Like, if there's a story that I want to tell, I can actually tell the story and I can do it the Besa way.
It's extremely well put.
Thank you.
I mean, it's funny because what she's describing, doing what it is we do in our day jobs, if you will, radio. There are some things you got to do. There's some things, but when you take the platform onto itself and say, look, here's how I'm gonna make the most of it. That's very well put.
Thank you.
Very well put. So, what's a media mixer?
Oh my goodness. So some years ago, I was at home and I had this crazy idea and I called my friend, DJ Fresh Pharaoh, and I was like, I have an idea. And he was like, what? I was like, hear me out, it's a little crazy, but I want to start doing mixers. And he was like, why? I was like, I feel like there are so many people that are always saying they don't really know who anyone is, or they can't find people, or, you know, you have the Seattle freeze, so then you want to meet someone and it's a little bit awkward. And I was like, what if we did mixers? We bring together people in media, different business owners, influencers, etc., put them all in a room to where they can, one, get on the mic and introduce themselves, but also learn. You know, there's like a lot of networking events, but I don't always see that concept of someone teaching you how to use your TikTok properly and actually get good followers, someone giving you tips on Instagram, tips on finding sponsorships and getting marketing for different things that you're doing, whether it's an event or maybe you want to market your business. I just thought that it was so important to not only do these events, but market them to people that look like myself, because I see these happening in Bellevue, but I don't see them happening, at least in the way that I do them, by people that look like me, to where it's like, girl, I feel like, you know, everyone is welcome, but a lot of people like me, they just want that extra information, and they want for people that are actually skilled, and they're just not just throwing something at them, you know what I mean? So that's a real Seattle media mixer. You come, you mix, you mingle, I let people introduce themselves. We have a whole panel on there, and we'll talk, what did we talk about last time? I think we talked about branding and marketing last time, and they're free.
And that Seattle freeze is a real thing.
Oh, it's a whole tingling.
That's not. It's not mythological, it's real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. So I want to hear a little bit more about why it is so valuable to have, as you put it, people who look like you out there, not only being as successful as you are, reaching for more, but showing it to the community and to people who are younger than you, kind of coming up.
I think it's important because at one point I thought that I actually needed to do the whole code switching thing. I needed to dial myself down. I thought that I could be a lot. You know, I talk with my hands a lot. So, but I'm like, man, look, this is how I am. This is who I am. This is what I've always been. And this is what people love about me. And I think it's very important for other girls that do look like me to know, look, you can, you know, wear your perfumes. You can wear your clothes. You can do your hair however you want. You can be yourself. You don't have to dial yourself back. Like, once you dial yourself back, people can kind of feel that. And then all of a sudden they don't, it's not that they won't necessarily like you, but they're not getting that full authentic version of yourself. And once you really can give that, and then you put that on Top 40 radio, you know, you put that on Fox 13 on a whole TV show, other little girls are like, you know what? I really can do that too, because she's doing it and I can tell that she's literally being herself.
Besa Gordon's got a new show. It premieres Sunday?
Saturday.
God!
It'll be July 1st.
You almost had it.
I almost did.
But one day off.
Pay attention to details. So what's your end game? What do you see? Because you're obviously, now that it's launched and you're getting going, but you already see what's happening with the show.
You know, I just want to take over the Northwest region.
Just
you
that
know,
little
Seattle
thing. Just a little
you know,
thing.
the first stop, but we have a whole lot more to do. You know, I'm on the radio in Portland. I'm also on the radio in Fresno, California, Austin, Texas, and Sacramento. So I would love to get it on in all of my markets to literally inspire more people that look like me.
I love that. So, okay, you have said that it is very important to be authentic, which I totally agree it is. And one of the things that you love to do is to sort of make up words to really describe what you mean. What are some of the favorites that you
Well, tingling was one of them, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
And then my other one is schmoody wood. I always say it's better than a
What?
vibe. Schmoody wood.
Sure.
Don't ask me how to spell it. But it's better than a vibe. It's better than a mood. It's a schmoody wood. And sometimes I'm just like the regular English language.
Let me
just
hear
isn't
Bender
enough.
say it.
Try it out.
I couldn't get the date right.
Schmoody wood?
Schmoody wood.
Okay, I did it.
Schmoody wood.
Schmoody wood.
Schmoody wood.
There you go.
Yeah, this show with this
Dude,
guest.
This is gonna look so bad later.
Yeah. No, it's not. You look great. It's great. Oh my gosh. Well, I just really value and appreciate what you're doing. I think authenticity, I mean, obviously in both of your jobs, you can see authenticity is what gets you to success. And I think you've really cracked that code and are showing people how to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's expanding the brand.
Expanding the brand. You love to see it. Thank you so much for joining us again. All right, you got to tell us, because you got so many things. Where can people find you?
Well, right now you can find me anywhere online at Besa Gordon. So that's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, etc. Of course, you can still find Rewind with Besa right now on Converge Media. And then, of course, locally in Seattle, you can hear me on Hits 106.1 Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to midnight, and Sundays, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Whew. When do you rest?
What is that? I take naps.
Yeah, naps
And
to
I drink lots
survive.
of coffee.
Yes.
Sleep's overrated.
Sleeps for suckers. All right, thank you so much, Besa. And we will be chatting with you so much more in the coming weeks as the show launches and has continued success. I know it will. Thank you
Can't
so
wait
much.
to come back.
All right, coming up next on Studio 13 Live, scan your ticket and step on the scale. What airlines say that they plan to start weighing their passengers?
Yeah, and it's the end of the world as we know it. Scientists and tech leaders warning artificial intelligence could be leading to our extinction.
Whoa.
Next.
All right, I don't want to freak anybody out, but tech experts are expressing concerns of humanity's extinction risk. How's that for you? Oh boy. They say advancing AI should be viewed in the same way as a pandemic or even nuclear war. Executives from Microsoft and Google also expressing agreement there. And countries across the globe have proposed regulations to prevent AI from running wild, losing control. Now, the statement did not include any solutions to slow AI's risk. And it sounds very intense, but this one has me thinking we should take this a little seriously.
Yeah, I mean, this is how most movies start.
Yes.
Where we're at the beginning of it, and it's a little. I don't know what to make of it. I've tried the chat GPT
Yeah.
thing. I've tried it like once or twice, and it totally works. Oof. It totally works, but it's, you know, what's I mean, AI is already on our phone, correct? Where
It
the
is.
corrective typing and auto text and whatever. Okay.
But don't freak out, right?
Don't freak out because we clearly have no idea what we're talking about. International travelers flying with Air New Zealand may be asked to get weighed before boarding.
Okay.
They say it's completely optional. It's part of an effort to balance weight on all their planes. The weight of volunteers will be anonymous and sent to a computer. Their goal is to weigh 10,000 passengers. Now, it's 2023. We've been flying since the Wright brothers, and I mean, why is this suddenly now becoming a thing? And what do you mean it's optional? Because if you're trying to weigh us and space us on the plane, how can it be optional?
That's what I'm saying. It feels like this is the beginning of charging some people more, depending on their weight. That's my totally no information guess. Because if it's optional, what is the point?
Could you, dude?
No.
Aren't there some planes though, or some airlines that will charge you for 2 seats if
they
you don't fit in one?
Yes, they will. That is what happens.
But I mean, that's along the same avenue of.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
That's a weird one. We'll have to see where they go from here. All right. So you and I both have dogs.
Yep.
We love them. They're amazing. But would they actually protect us if it came right down to it? Do you think? Maybe against a bear?
Well, I've got a Great Dane Mastiff who's the same size as a bear, so that wouldn't be a problem. My younger one's a lunatic and would probably have no problem going after the bear.
Dangle on the bear's little tail, maybe?
Yeah, he's crazy.
All right, well, let's show you this crazy video right here. Look at this. It looks like a bear is sneaking into a home. This is coming to us from New York. Just coming right on in, walks around. Oh, look at that dog.
That's a...
What is that? Is that like a
big
poodle?
Freaking poodle.
Yeah, it's like a standard poodle, I think is what they're called. Whoa! So it got a little scared.
Standard poodle?
I think that's the breed, standard poodle, maybe, unless it's a mix. But wow, that poodle did what I would do if I saw that bear in my house.
My Dane is bigger than that bear.
Wow.
So I would be
it's a young bear.
I'd be curious to see. It's a cub. Yeah, so I'd be very curious to see exactly how the dogs would react to that.
Oh my gosh.
Your dogs would take care of the bear or no?
I don't know. My dog Magnus is a Great Dane mix, so Great Dane German Shepherd.
Okay.
So large and loud, but also tries to sit on my lap when we go to the vet. So I don't know. So I don't know.
Dog's afraid to go to the vet, even though it's one of the biggest dogs ever.
Yeah.
Sure, I get it. Okay.
Interesting. Very, very strange, but fingers crossed I just don't run into the bear.
The state of Georgia is just one of several states that have signed to issue digitized cards that allow drivers to upload their own pictures. Apparently, some drivers in Georgia getting a little too cheeky, is that the word we're going with, in their driver's license photos. Now, government officials in Georgia are asking residents to keep their clothes on. This is why we can't have nice things. They're taking selfies for their digital identification cards, and then the state's already posted the plea to Facebook and the caption to technology and to keep things classy. As far as what is considered appropriate attire, the Department of Driver Services says T-shirts are ideal.
Just don't be naked.
You didn't honestly think that was going to go well. Naked.
Why would this be the choice? That is wild.
Have you not gone outside and talked to people?
You know what? That's very fair.
Naked.
Yes. Naked.
Naked.
You got to use the cute words with the kids.
Sure.
The toddlers. Hey, it's still ahead on Studio 13 Live. We are chatting with the founders of La Union Studio.
An architectural and interior design company that's helping small businesses reopen with a space that reflects their culture. And we'll be right back. In honor of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we're highlighting the local AAPI businesses making a difference in our community.
Yes, and La Union Studio is an architectural firm that blends culture into their designs to celebrate the diversity of our region. And we have special guests here today. They're studio founders. We have Sergio Legon-Talamoni and Sonia Lynn Abenorja? Benahar. Man, I practiced, y'all. Well, they are wonderful and extraordinarily talented and here visiting us today. So tell us a little bit more about La Union Studio and how you came together.
Yeah, well, Sonia and I have known each other for a long time. We're partners in life as much as we are partners in business. We're both creative by nature, and we're architecturally trained. And so we really wanted to, we had a desire to lend our skill set to our small business community here in Seattle. We have a strong network of entrepreneurs and creatives, and we really just want to help them open their businesses and celebrate their craft.
So you weave culture and storytelling and your architectural and interior design. So what inspired you to do all of the above?
Right, yeah, so both of us, we grew up in South Seattle, and we were really exposed to the beauty and difference and the beauty and diversity of ethnic backgrounds that we were just exposed to in our day-to-day lives, and we were really inspired to showcase that in the work that we do in showcasing our clients' businesses and the products and the services they provide. And so we really like to infuse the design with cultural elements, cultural motifs, and just things that really create meaning for our clients and create really beautiful spaces.
And they are indeed. I saw some of your work, beautiful spaces. You also work with BIPOC small businesses as well. So talk to me about the importance and the value that you place in being able to do that, make a space beautiful while honoring a cultural background.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to really amplify the voices of our community. You know, our small business ecosystem is the heart and soul of Seattle, and so to be able to reflect that, the values that they represent, I think is really important, and we're just proud to play a role in helping create spaces that are beautiful and are reflective of the community. And
you've been able to do it with a wide range of canvases, if you will.
Definitely, yeah.
And it's crazy when you think about some of the businesses that you've worked with in the past and how transforming their spaces have helped them thrive. So, you know, you could consider yourself, if you will, the backbone of all these businesses.
Very nice.
You could say that, yeah, maybe.
But I mean, that's got to feel pretty good.
It does, and I think, you know, we know what's at stake. It's a lot at risk when you're opening up a brick and mortar. You know, it's daunting. Sometimes you don't know the processes that are involved. And so our job, La Union Studios, to help translate a lot of those complicated terms and complicated tasks and work with contractors and work with the city on permits and stuff. And so that our clients can focus on their business.
That's
so
wonderful.
You handle all the headaches?
Yeah.
You just saying
You're
that
selling
lasts
it.
like 15 seconds. That's a nightmare.
Right, yeah. Right.
We're
I'm dealing with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I want to kind of talk bigger picture. I feel like, you know, my family is from Mexico. There's a Hispanic background, and I've always seen, when we're talking design, that sometimes in the industry you see like these kind of spaces that maybe you see more in white communities amplified and pulling the culture out of it for fear of not looking fancy enough.
Right.
Sure.
Talk to me about how you fight against that with the beautiful work that you do, saying it can be modern, it can have clean lines, it can be beautiful, and it can represent your community.
Right. Yeah, I think we're really just inspired by the stories of our clients. So what we do a lot in our design process is really just listen to, you know, the sounds and the sights and the smells that they're trying to convey, because there's so much rich history and heritage involved in what they're trying to put out in the world. And so, you know, if our clients show us like a photo of the Philippine Islands or a photo of, you know, their mom's kitchen, it's like, how do we pull those different elements in? And our take on that, and just really modernizing it or contemporizing it so that it reflects, you know, who we are as designers. I think color and texture are really big for us, and so I think there's different remnants that we can pull from all different cultures.
Beautiful.
How big is the team that you have working behind you guys?
Right.
Yeah, well, we're growing. It started out just Sonia and I for the last 5 years, and just recently we've grown our team to about 6, 7 now. A team of folks who are passionate about the work that we do as well, and so we're just really excited for what the future has in store, and we'll be moving into our first design studio later this year as well. So thinking about how to create a home for La Union Studio is really exciting for us.
Do you put extra emphasis on your own space?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we get to design our own
to.
space, so that's like a push and pull of how much we want to infuse it, how much we want to create as a backdrop.
I just say yes.
That is wonderful. Okay, and actually we have some guests coming up here that you also worked with. You have a connection with, is it Che Boggs? So that is so wonderful and exciting to see that connection there. We have posted more information on La Union Studio. You know, if you got a space and you need to make it look good, right? It's up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. And coming up, we are meeting that small business that La Union Studio helped design. It's so exciting.
Che Boggs Filipino Food is taking their food truck to the next level with a new restaurant opening up soon. We're going to get to learn about how they're making some of their pork and tofu dishes. So you got to stick with us. We'll do it next.
I wanna see you smile.
It's time for Emerald Eats, where we highlight amazing food in our very own area.
I know, and this already looks so good. So Cucina Filipina brought the taste of the Philippines to Beacon Hill until it was forced to close in 2017. The Paraiso family then decided to open their food truck, Che Boggs, and is soon returning to Beacon Hill in that area permanently. And here to share all about her family's wonderful story and recipes is Trixia Paraiso with Che Boggs Filipino Food. Welcome to you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Excited, look at the smile.
I know, I love it. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your family story and how you were able to build out the food truck, and now it'll have a permanent home.
Sure, yeah. So when we were notified that we're not going to be able to renew our lease for Cucina Filipina in 2016, we decided we had to pivot, and so Che Boggs Filipino Food Truck came to fruition. We wanted to stay in Seattle and be able to serve our family Filipino food within the area. And at that time, that was the most ideal for us. There wasn't a lot of space for us to occupy and do a turnkey restaurant, so that was the way we decided to go.
Wonderful.
But now Che Boggs is getting a new brick and mortar spot, a return to Beacon Hill area this summer. So you got to tell us about the new restaurant and how the community's there. Suddenly you're there and the doors are open. You can be all excited. Look at that. I mean, the smile, I'm not sure can get any bigger. She's been smiling like this since we walked in here.
Yeah, so actually it was through La Union Studios as well as Beacon Hill Business Alliance that kind of helped us bring Che Boggs back to Beacon Hill. They knew they were customers in Che Boggs food truck, and they kind of knew that our history in Beacon Hill, and they wanted to help us bring it back. And so they allowed us to kind of turn that way. They were a bridge in a way to make it happen, all happen. And it's amazing because, you know, when you're starting a restaurant, it's a journey to start from a restaurant to a food truck and a brick and mortar. And with their help, we kind of we're amazed with the support that we've had with the community.
That is so amazing. And we actually are going to get the opportunity to try some of your signature dishes. So what are we working on today?
Yes, so today we're making crispy kare-kare. Traditionally, this is cooked with beef, but today it's a modern twist that is happening in the Philippines right now. We're going to be serving it with crispy pork belly and fried tofu.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so we'll start with sauteing some onions and garlic. This will be for the main sauce. And we'll just put the garlic first, kind of let that sweat a little bit, and
Told you gotta let it sweat.
I know, you gotta let it sweat.
Let it sweat. So what's the difference in the menu from the food truck to the actual restaurant, the brick and mortar restaurant?
Oh, great question. So actually,
Thanks.
since the food truck is very small, we only were able to bring about 6 different entrees and then a couple of different appetizers. So for the restaurant, we're hoping we can include a little bit more traditional Filipino food, such as the Silog series, which is basically a Filipino breakfast. It's served with garlic rice, different types of protein. You have the longanisa, which is cured pork sausage. There's tapa, fried milkfish. That's usually served with achara, which is pickled papaya salad, and also an egg on top. And we also want to do like sizzling plates, sizzling sisig that will be in a sizzling plate. So it'll be very attractive and it'll smell very fragrant.
Wonderful. Okay, so what's next right here?
So right now we're sauteing the onions and garlic, and then we'll put, this is called ashwete, which is annatto powder that's grounded. We'll put a little bit of oil in that just so it can mix, and then we'll include, we'll mix this with the sauteed onions and garlic. This is basically the color from this is the popular
kind of reddish orange color of kare kare.
Yes, it has that beautiful color. Now we do have just over 2 minutes left, so walk us through the rest of the steps.
Yeah, so we'll just be adding the peanut sauce in here, and then that's the main flavor
I love
of
good
kare
peanut
kare.
sauce.
Yeah.
It's so yummy.
And then we'll mix this together. It'll melt, and then we can add the water. You can also use chicken, pork, beef broth. This will kind of combine that all together, and then just season it with a little bit of salt. This is to taste, and some sugar, and just let that kind of mix together.
Do you foresee using the food truck as an experiment and/or the brick and mortar for an experiment for either location? So, like, it worked in the food truck, it's going to work in the restaurant, or vice versa.
I think the food truck was a great practice for the brick and mortar. You know, because we're able to serve more, we can kind of like hone down on our very specific dishes that people loved, and now we have the restaurant. We can kind of experiment a little bit more.
Beautiful.
And include more flavors.
Now,
to the
while you're
table.
wrapping up here, do you mind if we try some of the food that's here?
Please. Yeah, that one is the very traditional.
Lumpia.
Yes, pork lumpias, and the dipping sauce is the sweet and sour sauce we have. On that plate, we also have the chicken adobo, cooked with soy sauce, vinegar, garlic. Very common flavors in the Filipino cuisine.
So yummy, just really amazing.
Okay, so, and I shouldn't talk about
We can't help it. We can't help it.
opening day is coming soon. Wait, this is really rude. Okay. For more info, how can they help you with the final push to get everything open and ready to go?
You know, we had received so many community help, and right now, just follow us on our social media, on our Instagram, and also our Facebook, and we'll keep you updated on our opening day.
So beautiful. All of this has been so delicious. You can catch us on our Instagram where you'll see a video of us trying this final delicious product. Trixie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's really good.
Amazing.
It's fantastic.
We appreciate it.
We do have recipes and more information on Chebog's Filipino food up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. You gotta check it out. When I tell you this is good, it is good. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.
Like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.